What are some things you suspect women never tell men?
That they faked an so you'd hurry the and finish. Where their of gold is hidden, they are just like those little Irish guys.
What they really want for they really want and they really think of you.
They have an escape plan ready if they ever have to leave you.
What's wrong?
When they and how often.
Where they want to.
Wow, some of you guys have had really relationships lol. Makes me appreciate my wonderful GF all the more.
Some of the things they talk about with their friends.
Every girlfriend ever has said they do not talk to their friends about life. But they all have. I feel like guys do not do this as much.
The amount of friends that hit on her behind his back, the amount of men that are in her DMs and Facebook Messenger that flirt with her. She's not exactly encouraging this behavior, but she's not blocking them or turning him away either.
Their part in the breakup.
The details of getting a pap smear edit. This is a joke. I don't know all of the details of getting a pap smear because it's not a medical procedure I have personally had done. Similarly, I don't know the details of a root canal.
Weight and body, even though there's a push for acceptance over these things. The reality is that women still feel shameful about it.
That there is often a transition period between you and the next one and you have no clue. It's attract some awful women it seems.
Their true body count.
Sorry, I was wrong. I will not repeat it again.
They are not nearly as feminist as they pretend. A lot of women selectively cling to elements of the patriarchy that are self-serving. I'm not hating either. I just wish people in general were more self-aware and honest about their ideals. Too many people trying to get their cake, eat it too, and also shame you for eating your own cake.
That she preferred the size of her exes.
Things we don't tell men. Sometimes how we feel depends on the maturity level of the person you're with. Any grown human would know to communicate to get from point A to point B***. However, sometimes finding the right words can be hard and overwhelming. What we want to eat, again, depends on the person. Could be picky with food, could not. Normally when I can't decide, it's because I need to think about what I would order from each place and whatever that may be, whichever sounds most appeasing. I like cooking at home more than eating out though. It's actually opposite for me. My boyfriend never knows what he wants to eat and I'm forever confused how your body doesn't send fangirl signs of certain foods to your brain. I just recently started letting my boyfriend pop my zits on my face and back. I would have rather died than let him do that a year ago. Now I just want to sleep while he does. Boyfriend tells me every time when he needs to. I do not. I actually just had to tell him the other day that I understand he does that, but I didn't want to hear every time as to when. And that I loved him. Hee. I'm not going to tell you if something broke. Depending on what it is, I'll try to fix it and wait for you to notice. Recently I got a raise at work. My boyfriend's trying to get ASE certified and I asked myself if I wanted to tell him about my raise. I didn't want to because I didn't want him to feel any way about his progress. I did tell him because we pay bills together and that's important stuff to know. Sometimes I want to tell him very weird, loving, wholesome things, but I don't because it will scare. I want to literally attach myself to my boyfriend and never peel away. I only did this once in a blue moon and I cherish the out of it.
That you're her second, maybe third, possible fourth, and even in the realm of possibility fifth choice.
Wait until there's an argument. Women love killing a man's confidence just to win petty disputes. They'll spill anything you don't want to know, most likely.
Who the father really?
How often they imagine other men while having.
As a guy, I've faked an once. She was super sexy, but once we got to the deed she starfished and showed no interest at all other than being wet. I couldn't stay hard and my D was getting floppy because it was such a huge turnoff. So I faked and she then bragged and belittled me about how quickly I got off and how I couldn't last long. Lol, lil, did she know?
My soul will tell me if she feels that she isn't close to finishing and for me to focus only on mine. I will tell her when I'm not going to get mine either. Whether I am too warm, rubbed one off prior, not anticipating having her company so soon, or whatever. That's what good communication is like. Sorry, those people feel that lying to their partner is the answer.
Always found this funny. It's like shooting yourself in the foot. Sabotaging your own satisfaction.
48F here. Yeah, NGL, legit did this in my early 20s, a lot. Have not with my husband, together 20 years.
In my 20s, yes, all the time. In my 30s, however, I hope they have good stamina because we are not finished until I am.
To the other lurking women in the thread, he knows too much, dispatch the leprechauns.
This, like girl I know you got it. I'm trying to hit the arcade now, where are the coins?
My wife has no problems telling me what she thinks of me, but yes on the other two.
Get yourself a girl with low blood sugar. We know what we want for dinner and it's usually pasta, potatoes, or some other carbohydrate.
If I ever get rich enough, I'm gonna open up a chain of restaurants and name them, I don't know, I don't care, whatever, and, you choose, for and giggles. Might as well capitalize on the opportunity.
The last time a woman said what they wanted for dinner, a woman ate forbidden fruit from a snake, and the world has been ever.
It's typically for their own protection, given how many women are assaulted or murdered by their partners each year.
Nothing.
That's because we don't, sir.
We don't even know. We just know what we don't want, lol.
I feel happy for you, my guy, cherish it, and I hope it works out and y'all grow old and happy together. Smiley face.
Ask men why they hate women.
Here's guys talking about their life. Middle of band practice. Music briefly stops. Dude 1. Hey man, didn't you have a date with a girl last week? Dude 2. Yeah? Dude 1. You her? Dude 2. Yeah dude, asterisk everyone. Nice, asterisk Finn.
I have a general rule where I won't talk about it if I'm either dating her or they even tangibly could know her. Even then I'll be vague. One of my exes was talking about my size to a whole group of her friends and figured I'd be happy about it. Wild. I don't care if it's good or not, they don't really need to know.
This is why when I was with my ex, I deleted anyone that would hit on me knowing well I was in a relationship. I posted about it. He never asked me to, but it was just annoying for me because I didn't care for anyone's attention, but his. And I also wouldn't want it if was him getting MSGs like that from women. This a form of monkey branching IDC what anyone says. I understand we all want validation and to feel good, but that shouldn't be happening non-stop like now thanks to social media. If her friend isn't respecting the boundaries of your relationship and she's not doing anything about it, then she likes it. A simple, stop it, is enough 90% of the time.
Even worse if you ask her to block someone who she always complains about being in her DMs, but she says, no, I don't want to hurt his feelings.
They just take a medieval-looking torture devil, called the pear as a medieval torture device, called a speculum in the medical setting, and they slowly open up your as much as it will stretch, stick a long Q-tip in there and take a swab and do a visual checkup and look for stuff like polyps or anything unusual.
Why would weight in numeric terms even matter? If someone is overweight, you can see it plainly.
They are all hidden in my basement. Knowing the number would mentally break you.
There's a saying that if a girl tells you her body count, you multiply by 3, for guys, you divide by 3 lol.
You say this like it's some kind of mark against her. The fact she prefers you despite asterisk your size should be an ego boost.
Greater than recently I got a raise at work, my boyfriend's trying to get ASE certified and I asked myself if I wanted to tell him about my raise. I didn't want to because I didn't want him to feel any way about his progress. I did tell him because we pay bills together and that's important stuff to don't know your relationship, so this isn't about you, but I hate this mentality, people trying to protect my feelings by withholding information that might make me feel bad. My family does it, an infantilizing feeling. I'd rather just know and deal with it.
Some of the older guys have told me it's pointless arguing with women because they don't fight fair, and that is so true. And then they can't understand why you're after they crossed a boundary. If she says something out of line, quit being little wimps. Don't accept it. The moment she says something up, walk away from her either physically or altogether.
Starfished.
I have also faked a couple. Sometimes you just can tell you aren't gonna finish and you gotta protect her self-esteem to a certain degree cause you know she'll take it personally.
When a guy feels like they are bad at they get even worse. So if you just lie to them, they do about as good as they would before. But even sometimes they do better. Woman shrugging. A lot of young guys aren't just happy having They also want to feel good at. They're coming from a place of inexperience and are scared of the consequences naivety might have on their abilities in the bedroom. The experience, and even a lot of the times the reasons two people want to even have is different for each and between each person. Part of the beauty of is like a recognition of the goals and desires of another person, about, and finding ways to exist in a way that both affirms what that person wants and expects while simultaneously enjoying that experience. Beauty of having in the male perspective is its flexibility. Male pleasure is comparatively very simple, and difference in level of literal physical pleasure. The range of male fantasy is quite large. You see men attracted to practically anything, and it's pretty common male fantasies don't have to be very specific. So when they try to consider what a girl might fantasize about, they also imagine it within that same sort of way. But like girls experience pleasure differently than a dude, it requires way more specificity to reach in. Often girls develop stricter fantasies because that's just what it takes for them to really get to that a relationship. It is as much about how your fantasies coexist as well as your literal person. It's not that you have to dream the same things, just that those dreams exist peacefully with each other. I think for a lot of younger men, when they realize you aren't literally fantasizing them and what they fantasize about, they get for the weird response. But you've probably found someone whom fits your desires and dreams, but also understands them. And also finds them attractive. That's cool and something to be proud of.